Hey, what is up, fam? Is am I a little fuzzy today? Probably yes, because I had to move. Maybe is are we here because a Mythic Squad is announcing a lawsuit against Mythic Swap? Not sure. We'll find out. Is this an actual Gander stream or is this a Mythic Squad takeover? I'm not sure. Do we have PVE teaser information to share? Possibly, maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. And is it Boar with an E or Boar with an A? Let's chat. Let's find out. All right, crew. Another episode of a Gander. As always, grab a drink, take a seat, and welcome to the flock. Hey, what is up, everybody? There's this trend of really spiffy hats going around, and this hat's probably two sizes too small. I asked my wife, "Is like, should I wear this cap on or should I put this one on?" I'm all for it. She's like, "You know what? Do the firefighter hat. It's Wildfire Awareness Month, and you can make it educational. See, wife's always looking out for you, so." I've done my obligatory. The hat's too big for my fat head, so I'll take this off. I'll put this on. Welcome everybody.
What's up? What's up? Where's your sunglasses?
Oh no, yeah, no
Right
kidding.
here.
Hey.
Yes. What up? What up? What up, everybody?
Not just bright. Welcome. We'll do some introductions here. Kupo, to honest, is here. If you've not seen his streams lately, he's picked up a very good-looking assistant. I said, you know what? The only way I can top this is by finding myself a recurring good-looking guest. And I thought of you, Kupo. So welcome back, Mr. Kupo. How are you doing?
Glad to be here, Sarge. Glad to be with all of you guys. First time with a handful of you. You've all seen I've seen your faces, but you're all first time seeing mine. So it's kind of nice.
All right.
Your face is refreshing, Kupo.
Yes.
Good to see you, brother.
For
Dude,
real.
Not
See
actually a
I'm
mouse.
fresh.
Too honest, bro. Like no rest for the wicked and the too honest, bro. You're like everywhere. What is that, man?
I don't know, man. I figured I'll be like Fuchsia the rapper and just flood the game. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta be like that, man. It's the best way to learn, man.
You're doing it, man.
Yes.
No kidding, man. So what's your game plan? So you're streaming every day now? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I did it a while back for like 2 months, and I literally, I met everybody from that, So I figured, hey, if I want to break through the matrix, best way to do it is to just flood it, and see what happens. Maybe I'll reach a new limit, a new level.
Hey. Yeah. Too honest ascends to the next tier. Only way to do it, right?
Only
New
way to
limit
get
soldiers.
It's been working.
Mr. Ogre Abroad, bro. How are you? How are you doing, man? I feel like it's been a minute since we've had you on.
Man, my life has been chaos the past several weeks. I've been all over the place. Was down in Fort Lauderdale last week for the convention, been out to Colorado and back constantly. Heck, tonight I had take my son to the football game, then take my daughter to homecoming, pick my son up. Then I got to go back and get my daughter again after the dance is over. Man, life is chaos, right? It's all about how we ride the wave.
Yeah, no kidding. Chaos is, I feel like the theme of the year. Certainly for me. I feel like sentiment for others as well. Starbuck, bro. How you've seen what Too Honest is doing, and you're like, hey, let me try and one up them or at least keep up. You've been streaming a shitload as well. How are you?
Oh man, I mean, I'm trying to keep up, but Too Honest has got that locked down. That everyday stream is his thing, and he's doing awesome at it. Mythic Squad's doing great. We've got our 1-year anniversary coming up next month, 10/10, or next week, 10/10, October 10th, and a party next Friday. So more details coming soon.
Oh, there you go. RSVP not needed, I presume.
Not at all. Come one, come all. Bring your squad, bring your guild. We invite everybody.
Bro, trade room. Like you came on. Was it last week? It feels like it was. Or you came on recently, and you came on again. Well, you were partying at an XRP party. You can tell us about that here in a minute. But you came on. You came back today, and you're like, fuck this, close optional. Let me rock it. I'm not sure if you're wearing pants or not. I mean, bro, how are you doing, man? How's that? How you doing? How's the $13 holla going? You're muted. I can't hear you.
Muted.
Mic check. Can you guys hear me?
Mic check.
Yes.
I can hear.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Sorry about that. Thanks for that introduction. Can't tell you if I have pants on or not on. It's been a long week as Ogre started there, and best thing is to get back to the penthouse, grab a glass of wine, and kick back. But yeah, the $13 holla is going amazing. It's a great implication of whatever, using a low level account and building it out. We have some private PvP duels going on, but yeah, I'm just happy to be here. Last time I was here was about 3-4 weeks ago. I did not go to the XRP party. It was monsooning in New York. I was coming down from couldn't make it, but we already won, so I celebrated at home with everybody else.
Hey, I love it. I love it. And last but not least, Mr. Raft himself. Speaking of hustlers, a lot of us doing it public facing. You've been doing it behind the scenes with your co-pilot there, Mr. Neindorf. You've got some exciting news to share. Do you want to drop some of this alpha for us?
Yeah, thank you. First off, I want to say I appreciate being here with the esteemed guest panel. Honored, humbled to be here by this with this group. So thank you all for having me. Yeah, Neindorf and I have been in the lab, and we're going to release our ADFK PVE game this week. So we're really excited to continue to bring more content to the DFK verse. And so it's a game where you're going to be able to use your heroes to go through a image-based dungeon, and that's going to allow you to earn raffle tickets. So we're really excited to release this. We've had it in alpha and beta testing for a long time now, and we're hoping to bring some more content out there to all of you loyal DFKers. So thank you.
I love it, it may be my headphones. Your mic sounds like it's coming in and out. We caught all of it, but it would crescendo every so often. As far as
It's
the
not
game
just
goes,
you.
okay, cool. So the game's coming out next week. Does that mean coming out for everyone? Is it beta? Is it full version? How can we start playing this game?
Yeah, full version's coming out next week on Wednesday for everyone. We're gonna have a opening stream on Wednesday night, where we're gonna do a kind of an extra leaderboard raffle to try to see how fast people can go through a dungeon. And so it's going to be going through a forest dungeon. Really excited to release this and allow people to bring their heroes in and then go earn some raffle tickets.
Oh, that is amazing. Wednesday, do you have a time next Wednesday? Sorry to probe you for questions, but I think the more info, the better.
This is fantastic. Yeah, we're looking to go live somewhere around between 5 and 7 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday. And then we're going to do a big 2-hour stream on Wednesday night, and hoping to have some guests on and teach people how to play the game and welcome them to third-party gaming and DefiKingdoms.
Dude, that is awesome. If Raph did not ask me to say this next piece, but I feel like it's a calling for all of us. Let's get some tourneys going. I think we all miss what was going on, back in the day with, I forget the name of the platform, or Fight Club. That was fun. Get some of that stuff going back. And I know we're here waiting for Boar Hunt. Why not wait and enjoy the time as it goes by and not sort of sit around and maybe feel down on ourselves. So that's exciting. That is super awesome. Looking forward to that. Thank you very much for dropping that. Again, I'm sure more information to come as far as an official stream time and the game itself. So hey, we were all looking for NFT utility. We've got it here, baby.
Yes.
Well, with that said, let's get to some questions. I built some transitions in. I had a few seconds this afternoon. Let's start showcasing some of these here. All right, Amulets, Boars, combat. We are at the precipice of what any gamer would recognize as an actual game. Are you nervous? I mean, are you nervous to sort of see this content? What if it doesn't meet your expectations? What if what if it isn't what you were expecting? Or hey, you know what if it's even better than you were thinking? Raph, I know you just mentioned you finished developing a game. I'm sure some of these jitters just are natural as a dev. How do you think the team feels, and how do you feel about Boar Hunt?
I'm sure they're a bit nervous as we are too. It's always as you're putting your baby out into the world, it's like, will people think it's ugly? And so I think that's a natural tendency. But everything this team does turns to gold, and they're playing the long haul when it comes to everything here. And so I think they've done a marvelous job of continuing to let us see that they're building. What we can see right now is, what do they say, 10% of the total package that will eventually be there. So I think it'll be okay. And this team continues to respond well to feedback. Every single time we give them feedback, they incorporate those ideas, enhancements, and things and features into the game. And so I'm convinced that what Boar Hunt is it's going to be awesome, and they'll continue to evolve it as they go along, as they always do.
Oh, absolutely. Too honest, you've got yourself some fireworks there. Oof, I love it. I mean, what are your thoughts? Fire looks like.
Hey, man, I've been trying to figure out how the heck them fireworks are going off for like 2 days now, man. I'm actually loving it. I'm loving the randomness of it, but I don't know how it's doing it, bro. It just happens. But amulets, man. I'm very excited for amulets, man. Very excited. I know where their mindset shifts towards like Final Fantasy type deal. So Final Fantasy has like amulets and stuff like that too. So I'm just really excited to see what they're gonna do with these amulets, how rare these amulets are gonna be, how they're gonna look. I love the artwork behind DFK. So like that's like the most exciting thing for me. So yeah, man, I'm not nervous about it at all, man. I trust these guys 100%. They haven't let me down yet, and I don't think they will, man. Like you said, they turn to gold, man.
Golden Boys, love it. Kupo, bro, you excited as a community member? I love your input. Give it to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The amulets is just going to be our gateway into equipment, gateway that's going to then take us into PvE, PvP. So these are like the stepping stones that we've been looking forward to. I personally, when I onboarded with DFK, I was very thrilled about the whole PvE concept. So now it's finally coming to light. And these amulets is definitely going to be a whole like make or break with these type of things. And as you guys were saying, everything that they have been putting out and DFK has been like gold. I mean, every time they just announce even a hint of something that they're doing, it gets the whole community like riled up and just like excited to see what else they have to produce. And they keep blowing our expectations with the quality of life changes and such. So I'm very thrilled to see what they're going to be doing with this whole next big patch. They already said that it's going to be as big as the Hero's Best Friend patch, and we know how big that was. So this is going to be like another big introduction into the DFK verse.
Sticks intern, answer the question.
Yeah, I think ADFK's game is going to be freaking awesome. I am so looking forward to it coming out, and like I honestly cannot freaking wait.
Yes.
I love it.
I was not watching the stream either, for the record. That was a wild guess. I hope I was right.
For not watching, you were spot on at guessing what we were chatting on earlier. We were discussing boar hunt. Is it boar with an E or boar with an A? What do you think?
I think it's actually, it's boar with an A, but they're gonna gore you with an E. With their tusks.
I like that.
It's not gonna be boring when those tusks get goring. It won't be boring.
Oh boy,
Someone's got rhymes.
There we go.
All right. Busta Rhymes over there. Hey.
Oh yes, as long as there's no beat, I can do okay.
Acapella.
Trade room. I mean, you're coming at this from the perspective of a small wallet, from what I gather from your content. I mean, as a small wallet player, someone who's maybe coming into into the game, who's a new person. How pumped are you? You know, about boar hunts? Do amulets mean anything to you? And combat. I mean, you know, where are you on the spectrum here?
Yeah, so in terms of showcasing DFK to any new person, we'd like to continue to think I have a small account, but that's a good precipice. But for me, the angle I look at things from is an economic end of things. So if you're coming in as a new player, and not somebody from 2021, my theory of economic hardening, this is literally the best time for you to get in, right? Not financial advice, but when you have ADFK, third party gaming, layered on top of a game, you have something like the Bazaar, which with the Mythic Swap, that technology has been able to be expanded. Now you're coming into the game with knowing duels is an exciting thing that keeps players going. Even questing can get repetitive and addictive enough that it keeps you within the game. So the more time that passes by, the better. But seeing the third-party ADFK game coming out, and on top of that, the boar hunt coming out, you can't be anything but excited, whether you're new or you've been here from day one.
Man, that was 100% the point. You nailed it, man.
That was Jet. Yeah, I pulled some clips from there. Very exciting. I think you did nail it. I think you did nail it. And I know where you're coming from, because I believe you mentioned you were here probably right towards the beginning. You may have onboarded alongside Ogre, for all I know. I mean, you were pretty on in the game.
Yeah. Came in early, went through the ups and downs, and just like any relationship, if I'm still here, it's for a reason, right?
That's right. That or me personally, I'm a masochist. So that's how I roll. Starbuck, what are your thoughts? I mean, are you excited about amulets? I know you were one to like harping on page 10. When amulets are coming. What are your thoughts?
I almost forgot about page 10 until you said that.
Oh.
Let's pivot to page 10. No, I'm just joking. I'm excited about amulets. Probably not as excited about them as Mosh. Mosh got the best one as usual. They're called Mosh Outs for a reason. I'm excited for people to start selling them. As soon as you get it, if you want to sell it, reach out to me. Save money on fees. Let's OTC this.
Hey, let's OTC it. Let's get another segue intro here. You mentioned Mosh. Let's give the beef some love. I was thinking about the beef when I made this one.
Matters. Check it out.
A beaver, one of the family that lives here in this lake.
So beautiful.
That was beautiful. It was natural. It just flowed. It just came together. You wouldn't believe it.
That takes me back to that Rugs and Tugs video you sent me that I actually never published, because I couldn't think of a time when I could say that without it just coming out like, in what we were all thinking. And but I loved it. It made me laugh.
It made me laugh to make. And anyhow, Mythic Swap, Starbuck, if you weren't aware, Six Interns got a pretty awesome Twitter Spaces. Is it every Friday now, Six Intern?
So no, I mean, this was the first one. Beav and I are going to be coordinating it. It's open. We were just wanted to get one on the map to get it kind of started, and I don't know, really kind of start figuring out the kinks. Which, as anyone who was there saw, there were plenty of kinks. Had to restart the spaces after 7 minutes because I tried to invite Beav up to speak and I accidentally banned him from the space.
Well,
so that was fun to work through, because I was like, I invited you, and he's like, I can't even get in. So that was what today was. But we're gonna work out the schedule, talking to people about what would be an optimal time, because I know 7 p.m. is a little late for our East Coast friends. And if I want this, my goal is to make this like a town hall event where anyone could request to speak, ask a question, say a hot take if that's what they want to do, try to troll us, fail. Any of those options are what I want people to do. I want it to be less like, I don't know, I feel like streams are kind of formalized. You got the speakers and the viewers, and I want to kind of bridge the gap between the speakers and the viewers, because I know we have so many consistent viewers.
No, absolutely. Well, and on that note, there was a theme that came up, or a question that came up. I think it was Beaver Mosh who asked, "Hey, what's Sarge talking about today?" For those of you who are not aware, today's stream is Shield Central. I'm getting paid by the Shield. Shout out DFK Helper. Shout out Sticks Interns. Twitter space. Starbuck, in that Twitter space, you sort of gave an origin story for Mythic Swap. I don't know if you want to share it here. You don't have to, but it brings to light, hey, you know what? Mythic Swap, at first when it came out, it was very nebulous. For me, someone who wasn't at the conference, I was sort of taken aback, confused. I was unsure as to what this thing was, good or bad. Teams come out, they've shared some information. Basically, if you were worried about the time and energy that the team was going to, put into Mythic Swap, game committee, we're not touching that piece. What are your thoughts on Mythic Swap itself? And if I can, twist your elbow to maybe share that Mythic Swap story, I'd appreciate it. But share what you want.
So there we were. Picture this. No, I'm joking. So Mosh and Dreamer had a heart-to-heart, and Mosh should be the one telling this story, but I'm sure he won't mind. He's having a good time with the fam right now. So Mosh is out with Dreamer at FaZe Clan. You guys remember we went to FaZe Clan, awesome time, and they had a little bit of time to talk about some of the projects they were working on, which Dreamer likes to do. Sunbear was there too, and one of the things that they brought up was, we've potentially got a Dex coming out in the future. It's still, in the works, might come out. We still don't know what to call it yet. And one of the suggestions, kind of jokingly, Mosh said, "What about Mythic Swap?" And Dreamer's like, "Oh, well, that sounds kind of sexy." And then we kind of left it at that, like didn't really think about it. Lo and behold, couple months later, boom, Mythic Swap's out. $sign Mythic is gone. Missed that boat. But I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of Mythic swag opportunities in the future. Lots of stuff, it sounds so close. It's right there. When I heard it, I was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? And then it grew on me and I'm all for it. But I thought they were trying to push us out. I was like, come on, man. That's us.
Now, there's totally an opportunity there to take our Mythic Squad logo and just take a red spray paint and do a W over the QU and do a little tail on the D to make it a P. So it's like Mythic Squad, but Mythic Swap.
I like where your head's at, Ogre.
I Skiller.
I love that.
My boy, Skiller.
Hey, if anything, I think you're guys gonna win out big as a guild with that name. But Ogre, I know you were there. You were there in person. I think you even asked a question during the Q&A at the end. What were your initial takes? Was it confusing to you, sort of as a person who was there, or did you sort of understand what was happening with Mythic Swap?
Well, I didn't know the backstory and the whole conversation. And by the way, I had to go get a hat. You guys had the hat game going on, so you inspired me. That's where I ran off to. But yeah, no, as soon as they said Mythic Swap, we were all sitting there the Airbnb, and I was like, did you just spell Mythic Squad wrong? They were like, I knew it was going to happen. And so, yeah, just from there it degenerated. They'd say Mythic Swap, and I'd scream Mythic Squad. Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun, memeable type thing, I think. Very excited about it.
Are you? What? And I know, Cooper, you were part of that stream last week with Bolon, and I know he cleared it up a bit for all of us. Any additional clarity that was offered during that AMA that maybe you were left with? Hey, I don't feel as maybe concerned as I was initially. I know we left that stream not feeling concerned, but were your feelings sort of quelled further? And what are your thoughts there?
Well, When they first announced it, it did take me by surprise because I wasn't one of those people that were actually able to see the live show. I got it kind of like on the stream, like most people did. So when I heard that, I was like, "What's going on with this?" So it did take me by surprise to hear that they're announcing a new project on top of what DFK was already offering. So yeah, just like most information, we don't get enough of it, kind of rattled me a little bit. And as Bolin was also saying, they were trying to get everything like launched at the same time, but they're having like some video problems, and they had some like Q&A that they had to do like manually on the point. So the more they were talking about it, the more they're engaged with the community. The more they're explaining that the DFK is going to still be their primary flagship, and that this is sort of going to be like just adding on like an extra battery to like the already fully functioning like DFK like machine here. It gave me a little bit more ease, and it also gives an opportunity to bring back a couple of those people that might have left the DFK verse when the game wasn't developed, or those people that didn't really want to play the game so much. They wanted to kind of just see it as an investment. So it's branching out to new and old type of individuals, new wallets, old wallets, and kind of just spreading our wings a little bit. So yeah, I'd say that I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. Like as the days pass, I'm feeling a little bit more on board with what Mythic Swap has to offer.
No, no, absolutely. And there's opportunity. You know, if you guys didn't catch it, there's opportunity for us to chime in with what we want those opportunities for us to look like. I know, Sticks Intern, you were sort of um, joking around. You know, as Gen Zero holders, you know, there should be more incentive for us. You know, we're not just holding Jewel, we're doubling down by holding these expensive, rare, unique heroes. Same thing for landowners. Trade room. I think this stuff is up your alley.
Jump in real
As
quick.
a, yeah, go for it.
Well, he said something there that there's been, I think, a bit of a confusion about, and made it sound like the decks and the game were going to be different. My understanding is that the Mythic Swap is basically like the next iteration of the Bazaar, to where it's not going to be something that's completely separate. It's another building block, kind of like a Lego they're adding on to what we already have with the decks and the Bazaar, and it's going to be more the Bazaar renamed and on steroids, right? So it'll still tie into the game, and it'll still, in my understanding, make it so that they have this small code package they can drop on a bunch of chains, and that allows people to basically integrate that chain's tokens and then purchase our in-game tokens with those native tokens from their chain. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
that's interesting. I took it to you, and others chime in. Sticks Intern, I know you've got it at the tip of your tongue. You were very eloquent at explaining it the last time we were on. Do you care to sort of reiterate what that looked like for you? Because I know I
Well,
understood
for
it to be a bit different. It
yeah,
was
for
not.
me, what it looked like was like a totally separate product, to be totally separated from the DFK branding. And sure, like they could launch it on DFK chain and it would work just like you said, basically as a Lego plugged in on top of it. But I don't think their target audience for this is the people who are already on DFK chain. I think this is something that's going to be a reputation rehabilitator to the broader DeFi degen ecosystem, and to show them that like the DFK team has continued to build, and it is building this product that is the DeFi. It's the first word of the name, right? It's the DeFi in the kingdoms, and it's actually taking something and building it out so that other games can easily plug into it. And one of the things they mentioned was customizable, buildable lists. And so like like a Wagny or whomever could come in and say, here's all the tokens that are in our token set on this chain, and we've made this list. It's the official Wagny list. It's got the seal of approval. Wagny players can come there and to that market, and they'll see all of their tokens, and they won't have to deal with any of the other tokens in the universe that
that's
they
been
don't want
around
to.
since Uniswap V2, though.
Well, no, but it's not like this though. Uniswap V2 doesn't have a limit order system, and it did sound to me like they were adding some more of what you would see in traditional finance exchanges. Not obviously not the full features of a centralized exchange, but like the next step in that direction. And from my understanding, I've seen one or two other dexes before try order book limit order, where they had like liquidity pools actually, And this doesn't seem to work like a liquidity pool. It's like an escrow contract kind of, and it's a very different mechanism design than I've seen in other areas. And I think that's what makes it really useful for other Web3 DeFi games.
So I've seen this basically instituted. If you've ever heard of Crop Bites, probably not. It's an older game, been around since like 2018 on Tron. I wouldn't recommend getting into it. I'm in the process of getting out of it. But they did do that. They implemented a bunch of, essentially what it is it's order books, right? Each different asset has its own order book. So what it does is it creates a bunch of small cap markets. And that can be dangerous if it's not self-regulated properly. It's not hard for people to take advantage of that. So if that's what it is, and I think that it is, I think you're right there that that's basically what they're doing. We need to pay attention to that.
What trade room? They don't call you trade room for nothing. You're a trader. As a trader, I mean, how excited are you about Mythic's? It's gonna happen. It's good for you guys. I was gonna say Mythic Squad. How excited are you about Mythic Swap?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited about it. You know, I'll have to dig more into the back end of how they're implementing it. But at the end of the day, it's proprietary technology that's being expounded and allowed to roam in other ecosystems, right? So, you know, when Apple takes their technology and implements it into a watch and then into a tag and into, it's all a part of what's going to not necessarily aid in a direct connection to possibly the blockchain itself, but it adds to the network effects. And that at times holds more value than a direct influence on the ecosystem. When you look at something like DApp Radar and you look at the different categories that DefiKingdoms is ranked in, it's in DeFi, it's in NFTs, it's in gaming. And so if you set up this swap situation now on all these platforms, you're going to see it matching up with the sushi swaps. And we see what DefiKingdoms can do in gaining traction in the top 100, top 10, top 20 in different categories. So throw the swap out there. Let's see how we fare against these other swap ecosystems, and don't let us start to get volume in as the game comes out and more individuals want to come in. And now it'll be easier to get in, whether you want to swap on a different platform and get into DFK, because guess what? Synapses, all these other situations we have set up months ago are going to be prepared for that onboarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Trade Room, streaming every Saturday from, I forget what time you stream. What time is that again?
7:30 Eastern.
7:30 Eastern. Catch them every Saturday. Raph, I mean, dude, as a dev, you know, this Mythic Swap stuff, I mean, were you able to wrap your head around it? Did it mean anything for you? I mean, just to me, when I first, like I said, when I first heard it, it was overwhelming. I pretend to understand everything all the time. I couldn't BS my way out of that one, even if I tried. Oh, you're muted, Raph.
That's better.
I can't hear you.
I'm just joking. I can't.
No.
Like you dick. I was like, wait, what's wrong on my end?
Yeah. I was like, I can't hear you. Well, you know, we'll come back to rap. Too honest, bro.
Yep. What's up,
I mean, what's your take on Mythic Swap? Or were you just as overwhelmed as I was? And to me, today, right now, it really doesn't mean anything other than, hey, here's a new product we're launching at some point in the future. And there may be some tokens in it for you that you may or may not want to sell in the future. So, I mean, outside of that, I mean, do you care? Do you care about this product? Does it mean anything for you?
Yeah, it actually means a lot to me, actually, because I think any way to attract new people from all different areas, to get them to at least see that where this is coming from, who's doing it, and all that good stuff, it just gives eyes to all of us, right? It just gives eyes to all of us, gives eyes to the projects. Any way to bring in more people, I'm all for it, to be honest. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean? If it I probably won't use it. Some probably will, whatever the case may be. But hey, someone's going to use it. It's going to benefit somebody. It's going to benefit the game. It's going to benefit all of us if that's the case, to me.
No. I can't help but think of the airdrop we had with Cristo and what that looked like for those of us who had sent as many PG heroes as we could. 3 heroes. I was really a whale at the time. I don't know what this mythic token looks like for all of us. Excited for it. Hey, free is free. So, Raf, I'll go back to you, see if maybe your mic's working here. Oh no, he's pleading the fifth. It's very, very. What a politician you are. I love it. Hey,
That
it's
was-
not me. It's the mic wasn't working. I couldn't give my honest opinion.
And it
was
worked
concise.
before.
Yeah, it was just working.
Yeah. Like,
Check
what,
cable.
did you jiggle the wire or something, man? Like, dang. What
He
did you
did
do?
get up. He did get up.
Anytime someone says that, I always picture that meme from the guy from the what's that one? The Emperor's New Groove, where he's like holding a earbud. He's like, you gotta hold it just right.
What tech difficulties are sort of natural in this space.
It comes
when
with the
you
Mythic
realize.
Squad. We brought this noise.
Yeah.
It carried
Through,
over from Sticks intern stream.
Delete.
Space.
Forget that I said that. No more technical difficulties. This is where we turn it around. Lines in the sand. Let's go.
Let's go. Well, let's do another transition here. Maybe we could get Raph going here in a sec. And if he wants, he can come back. Let's
Maybe
hit
drop
this
and come
one.
back.
Boy, I'm really on fire. Current PFA strategy. I mean, quite honestly, we're tuning in the third space and talk about how.
That was
Oh boy.
Sarge is sounding washed out. It
Spreading.
sounds like you're coming out of water.
Yeah, it sounds like Sarge's
Oh,
microphone is
no.
drunk.
I know. I hear you now. You're good.
And now I hear
He
Raph.
transferred all his microphone
go.
abilities to me. Just
There we go.
with the video. It's just it came through the internet. And my mic works. Sarge just doesn't.
Raph, if you care to answer the previous question, I'll fix my mic here in a sec.
I was so fixated on trying to screw around with my internet settings that I didn't catch it. So 2 questions ago, you were asking, what do I think about Mythic Swap?
Yes.
Almost said Mythic Squad. Freudian slip there. And I feel like, I have to answer honestly. And I think there's many of us out there that like we were concerned about it at first. Like, whoa, like Kingdom Studios doing something else. Like, are they cheating on us? And once I step back and really think about it, it's like they're playing chess when we're playing checkers. And like all the things that Trade Room laid out, like that it will eventually allow more players to get into the ecosystem because of this ability to be on other chains and to bring people in. And it's just working towards also their ideas on, how do you make it easier for people to get into the game? And we all know how miserable it was initially in our first crypto foray. And so, I think it's good long term. It took me a minute to get my head wrapped around it, but yeah, I'm there.
Same here. I mean, my first thought was, boy, are we getting shafted? Are they pivoting left when we're all wanting them to pivot this direction? But I very much appreciated the messaging. Certainly the one that came, how it came across at the most recent AMA. And I know there was some messaging sort of sprinkled around where there's sort of, reassuring those of us who are very public about some of those same fears. So like you, I'm a lot more positive about it. I think back, I sit back here and I think, hey, you know what? I thought Christabel was a terrible idea. And if it wasn't for Christabel, we'd all be screwed. So go figure. You said we're playing checkers. I'm playing Connect 4. So that's how far back I am. My other question, opening it up to the group, Sticks Intern, if you were watching, if you were listening to your Twitter spaces, there was a question or a comment, I think, by Mosh or Beeve to the event of, or to something to the effect of, hey, you know what? I'm getting the sense that people are selling more and more heroes, and their strategy is changing. Up for me, that's certainly the case. I'm selling more heroes, not because I'm capitulating, but because of, my strategy is changing. I've since picked up a few Gen Zeros. I was fortunate enough to win one, but really, what it's gone. What I'm doing now. I'm picking up some mythic, virgin heroes, some 10 of 10, some 5 of 5s. Bolong keeps saying don't recklessly speculate, don't ape into broken mechanics. We don't know a lot of the game, but what we do know is that mythic heroes are better than commons, they're better than uncommons, they're better than rares and legendaries. So that's where I'm sort of, betting my game and, say, hey, you know what, this is something I can sort of come at it from the perspective of hey, you know what, I can't necessarily go too wrong if I bet in this direction. What are you all doing as far as your strategies? Have they changed over the last few months? Are you doing something different? Maybe something like me?
I'm selling you all of my uncommon 10 of 10s. No, I mean I'm enjoying it. I actually, man, I've been busy and I actually need to get my stuff organized and get them botting. My stuff is still behind. Like most of my Gen Zeros are all like level 10 or below level 10. All of my heroes actually are below level 10. Like, yeah, I'm behind the power curve. I need to get automation.
Flues were more leveled than that.
Say again?
Even Flues were more leveled than that. They were all 10.
Savage. Yeah, no, I'm a failure. I have been neglecting my stable of heroes, and it irritates me. And I've been saying I'm going to do something about it for a few weeks now, which means I'm almost there. Maybe sometime next month.
Starbuck, you've been degenning from day one. Are you still doing that? Are you changing your game up?
Yeah, I'm doing a little degen sauce. I keep bringing it up because it just happened last night. I get these goals.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I get these goals, and then I you can ask anybody. When I have goals stuck in my head, that's all I want to do. So like I had that.
What'd you get last night?
I had that 3 Transcendent Dread Knight goal. Got that. I
did not see that.
I wanted a spell bow with no. I said that wrong. I wanted 3 Dread Knights with Transcendent traits.
Oh.
I have those. And then I wanted to have a spell bow with Giant Slayer and Second Life. And then I finally got that. And that was a lot of spell bows in the fire. But last night, I pulled a Sarge. And Sarge, you're the first person I thought of when I got this. I call this move the Sarge. So this move is called the Sarge. You go into the tavern, you look for an R1 Goon and an R1 Sage. You mash them together. You got a 20% chance of getting an elite class hero and a 0.44% chance of hitting a Dread Knight. Mission accomplished.
I did see
yesterday.
that. I did see that one.
Yeah, so that was my move yesterday. And I mean that's huge for me because I struggle sometimes to get the 7% Dread Knight, let alone hit it at 0.44, but you realize that I spent maybe less than 300 crystal out the door on that whole entire setup. And now I got a Dread Knight from it. So that's not bad.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that was a wise financial decision.
I mean that's spot on.
Hey, George agrees. What can I say? Rav, speaking of low key sort of degen,
I was like, who said that?
You came up in conversation on this very epic. Yeah, I keep shielding your Twitter space, Sticks intern. You owe me like a bottle of something.
I will perform intern services.
Hey, I love it. But you came up, someone again. It was someone on that Spaces who said, you know what, Raph low key is pulling off some very degen moves, and he's rocking them out, and he's very low key about it. Has your strategy changed, or are you just like Mythic Squad, busting out some of these crazy degen moves?
I don't think.
Before you answer, sorry, really quick. What's the name of your last couple of streams been? Like ADFK Second Life? Like that's been the title of like your last 5 YouTube videos? Okay, go on.
I can't claim the Mythic Squad throne for building degen heroes. Props to you guys for that. Okay, so it's like you read my mind because I had this conversation with Neindorf at lunch today, and I was talking about like where is value coming from in the game, and I think there's class, there is rarity, and there are abilities, and there will be pets and equipment, and I don't know if those are one or two. I argue one, but and when you think about class, rarity, and your elite abilities, I feel like class, the team is obligated to create balance with classes. I don't expect a mainstream game to allow 3 Dread Knights on every team. And so if you subscribe to that as a theory, that means that they're going to have to create a balance between the different classes that are available to all players. And so that means that there is an implied premium being put on rarity, of course. Mythic Squad was way ahead on this one, and then abilities as well. And so I'm staking my kind of flag on elite and transcendent abilities. So I've been really going after Giant Slayer and Second Life. And that's been something that's been in the works privately, probably for about 4 months, and then publicly for, I guess, the last couple months. Going for a lot of Second Lives, a lot of Giant Slayers, and then trying to get some purple, some gold with those, which is always difficult. And so I don't know. I feel like I think the game, what I'm playing for is rarity and abilities right now.
Absolutely, and yeah, and to your point, Raf, I mean, there's that credit where credit is due. Whether or not they nerf certain abilities, the fact is, a second life, a resurrection, that's just always going to be hard to pull off. And there's always going to be some level of demand for those type of heroes. To honest, another Mythic Squad member, you may be the most Degen of the bunch here on screen. I mean, bro, what's your strategy? What are you doing? Is it changing? We see you streaming every day. I don't think it is, but why are you doubling up on what you're doing?
First off, guys, all you all know me. I'm definitely not a man with a plan. I just do things, right? I just
My
do
man.
things, and it just falls into place like that with that, that pumpkin spice. You feel me? It just falls in place like that. But no, man, I have changed my theory a little bit. Like I really want a diversity of each class. So I don't want all my spell bows to be the same. I don't want all my goons to be the same. You know what I mean? I don't think anything is gonna give you like a massive advantage. Everything can be beat. And that's how every game has always been. Every single video game has always been like that. Nothing is full out dominant, right? So I just want to have a diversity. So I want one of my spell bows to have high agility. I want one to have high dex. I want one to have high wisdom, right? That way I can use them in different strategies for different things, right? So I'm not really building right now. It's more like I'm gonna see what happens and I'm gonna build against it.
Hey, that's smart. You're setting yourself up to be successful down the line. You're waiting
Yes.
to see what the meta becomes, and then sort of pivoting in that direction. But you have enough heroes to be able to pivot, accordingly as well. So that's smart. Trade room. I mean, is your strategy any different? I mean, and I'm sort of interested in what you might say because you are the trade room, and I think I heard it here first. You may have said it before, but I heard it when you jumped on. You were very bullish on gold, which sounds like the most degen, thing I've ever heard. I mean, is that your strategy? Maybe explain why you're so bullish on gold because I think we all gave Grady a hard time when he was double downing on doubling up on the whole tier thing. But gold, why gold? I mean, it sounds very counterintuitive.
Yeah, so I'm bullish on a lot of things within the game. When it comes to gold, I'm a fundamental researcher, so any game that's ever been released that's done well, the gold ends up being an integral part of the ecosystem. And following economics and just following what's happening within this game, that's a You can call it DeFi, right? That is an asset that may be inflationary, but I'm able to accumulate it almost at zero cost. And as someone who started out this game with a lot of miners, that's just a forever DeFi chest of gold that accumulates almost at zero cost. And so any percentage rise it makes with more time becomes straight profit. And with I play the numbers game. So in general, with crypto, if you're able to accumulate 100,000 of anything, each 1% move is $1,000 made. And so gold is the asset that I can play that game with the easiest in the ecosystem, and it almost comes at zero cost. So that's just that singular strategy with gold. My strategy, since I'm not a gamer, is to watch and follow the gamers, see their strategies, all the summoning mythic squad strategies, the ALP, Saison, dark summoning. I picked up so much from everybody. I feel like, how can I lose in this ecosystem? But at the same time, I've come in saying I'm going to be the Joe Rogan of DeFi Kingdom. So I will be in there, commentating battles as we are doing so right now with the $13 holla and bringing the excitement in. We're currently doing it with the private PvP battles, but the game is coming. We're going to need somebody to talk about what's happening or who's doing what and what Starbucks strategy may be, right? So that's the angle I'm coming in at. But I'm pulling a lot of gaming stuff, and DeFi Kingdoms has given me 2 great years to do that,
First of all, you've got my vote. You can commentate anytime you like. But I wanna, before I go to you, Kupo, it sort of happened since I didn't realize I did this. We've got Raph here, who between Raph, with Raph and Nine you guys have done sort of the complete opposite in many respects, where you guys have built a way to burn gold. Today. What thoughts on the gold aspect? Maybe a response to that.
I think Trade Room's spot on. We built a gold burning raffle system because we want gold to be valuable soon. I just pulled this up on the website. Right now it's in Crystal Vale, we have 527,093 gold minted per hour. So that is the average right now, because people are botting and people are selling all the items from their bots into the marketplace and creating gold. And so we have 500,000 gold minted per hour right now. I think eventually we are going to see a flippening happen where gold becomes a premium resource, and all of a sudden, like, we're trading or we're selling for items and we're going after that gold. It's so easy for them to say, weapons cost 100, 200, 1,000 gold to mint every time that you're creating a weapon, or buildings, God forbid, take a gajillion, a billion, a million gold. It is going to be so easy for them to balance the scales in the future. We're just trying to kind of clear the path a little bit, move some mulch out of the way as we try to make gold a little more valuable. It's a bit of a runaway resource at the moment, but I have confidence the team will take care of that problem in the future.
Hey,
I don't think it's going to be an issue, because in reality, like, what is used more? Granted, it's not a ton in each of the different places, but you got eggs, you got making potions, and all of those assets right now that are being sold into gold to create that are going to have use case, because they're going to be used to build weapons and armor and all this other stuff. So they're not going to be getting sold into gold. So I'm with Trade Room. I think that it's just one of the most prevalently used assets in the game. So will it like moon and stay high forever? No. But as the team adds something new or detracts something new from the game or makes a modification in the economy, I think gold is one of the primary spots where you might see it.
You know what? I thought it was crazy, but you guys may be onto something. NFA, but I like the content. Very interesting, very out there. Kupo, what's your strategy? Sort of, what are you seeing out there? What are you doing? Are you doing anything different than what you've been doing all along? And you're muted.
Looks like
There
it's
we
my
go.
turn for the mute button. But yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with like what Trade Room, Raph, Ogre. I mean, they all shared phenomenal points. I see a lot of potential in gold, and I'm on board with that also. My changes, when I was first starting up, I was focusing towards the professions for the heroes that I felt didn't really have too much of a good future, and others where I'm trying to get their PVE ready. But now I'm taking a 180 and I'm going very hardcore into the whole crafting element. Now that we've got crafting on a horizon and such like that, I really see a big mechanic with gold. So just sort of like how tiers sort of started to get their value back when pet hatching came out and other things, gold is going to have itself a massive potential for equipment, potions, gear, future mechanics and stuff like that. So I'm very bullish on what the gold direction is going to do. It seems like it's just a little difficult right now because we're seeing the numbers so good depreciating so much, but I feel once we start getting some of these other mechanics out, especially crafting, you're going to see a whole new world of options available. And as Oka was saying, it's not going to stay up there forever, but we're going to start seeing some spikes, sort of like what we were seeing when we had, like, for example, the tiers situation again, where they started to spike back up again when the pets became hatchable and those new mechanics were introduced. So there is a lot of potential for what gold has to offer, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, just a last little tidbit there. Ogre was talking about, hey, it might not. Sometimes it won't be sustainable as it has to. Supply demand has to match, but it will have some pops. And as a chart reader, just looking at the 3-day and weekly chart for gold, that pretty close to a nice little pop. Might not sustain, but it wouldn't surprise me with the board hunt coming in and an additional gold utility being implemented for that as well.
See, that's one thing I would caution against. When you're talking about games and tokens in games, you have to be real careful about that TA because the social impact is huge, right? An update and people's reaction to that gives zero fucks about the weekly chart.
Yeah, and that's why I always say it's fundamental, technical, and the psychology. But the candles move because of human behavior and the same psychology. And after a long period of time, it can tell you about what these humans within these ecosystems are deciding to do.
Definitely.
Right.
I'm just saying there's like micro pops and dips within that because the psychology of an update or an announcement will not necessarily go in line with the charts because the team isn't looking at the charts to calculate when they want to make an announcement.
Oh yeah, no,
Right,
and
right.
But yeah, over time, I agree.
A sub token in a micro cap coin. I mean, just I again harkening back to tiers and what we saw there with some of the commentary that was being made. I mean, we were all sort of in the midst of that, right? We that fluctuated and swung the way it did, but sort of interesting. I don't have any new segues, but you know what? Let's recycle.
Ooh, can I talk about what I've been doing differently?
I didn't ask you. No, I don't care. I'm just kidding. What is it?
No, that's
what
fair.
Are you doing?
Absolutely nothing. No. What I've been doing differently is I picked up some Gen Zeros, right? And now that I'm producing, like
you picked up 3.
Yeah.
You picked up 3 of Flues, yeah.
Yes, all of Flues. I got number 14. It's the best one in the game. I'll keep saying it. It's team only because it's a team Gen Zero. I got one of the team Gen Zeros. I am part of the team. Sticks intern. Tag me on the bloater. But anyway, no. So what I've really just I've been enjoying the golden age of summoning, as I think I saw someone recently say it. I can't remember who, but whoever said that really got me going. I've summoned 10 times during this stream. And I'm just in this pit crew wallet going hard. I'm trying to just get them all burn ready, use all their summons up, because my strategy the entire time has been to get a stable where I have this engine of production and gathering that, sure, the game may update and it may change how these guys go about the gathering process, but I have enough heroes now that I can gather pretty much whatever I need in a day, right? For any one activity that I want to do, right? And so that's something like if there's a cost to doing PvP battles or whatever, I'm not even saying that's the thing, but if there is some cost that comes up in the game where new players are gonna have to work for it, I've done all the work in advance because I have this freaking army. And so now I'm taking the dregs of that army, and shout out to whoever made Hero Roster app for really just making it clear. I could just draw a line right through the middle of my dot plot and be like, all right, all of these heroes burn, all of these heroes live, right? And as the line moves up, so we improve the wheat from the chaff. But right, that's what I'm doing. I'm burning the chaff as much as I can with like a semi-focused strategy on getting mutations in the passive abilities, because as Raph said, Giant Slayer, Last Stand, and Second Life are, they're worth going for. He mentioned that he had a couple Second Life heroes, and that's been another main motivator for doing this, is I actually just thought about it for a second, and I was like, I don't really care what class they are. If they're like half decent, if the game is balanced pretty well, if I go up against a team of 3 Second Lives and I've got none, I've got like it's not even double Second Lives. Like remove that from the equation. Just 3, one on each hero. I'm already like I have to do everything 1.5 times. Right? I have to win that battle 1.5 times. It's the boss. It's the final boss of the video game. You finally freaking got his health bar down, and he does a 3-second cutscene, force chokes you, throws you against the wall, takes half your health, and the fight goes on with a new full health bar. That's what it's gonna be like in PvP. And I'm like, shit, man, I gotta find a way to deal with that, and that's what the pit crew is for.
Bro, that's
not only that, but you're gonna be boss in PvE also, because when everybody else crashes and burns, your heroes are gonna keep going.
Oh yeah.
I can't help. Well, I'll play this one again, and then I'll get to my question comment here for all of us to maybe ponder through.
Matters. Check it out.
A beaver, one of the family that lives here in this lake.
And this is an organic question that sort of came about through just hearing you guys. I can't help but think this, and I've heard some of this. I've heard the opposite, but I want to hear your guys' opinion on it. Pay to play, something inherent that we hate from Web 2 gaming, sort of that Web 2 world. And I can't help but think that Web 3 exacerbates that to a whole new level. Just react to that, Six Intern. You've got your hand up. I want to hear it.
Yeah. Play to earn only works on top of play to win. That's my whole take.
Sorry, and this is a drink in that's 12%.
So play to earn, the Web3 dream of players being able to sell their items for money that is actually meaningful in some way, only works if buying that item has like some meaningful impact for the person buying it. Otherwise, there's no incentive to purchase it. So there has to be some element of pay to win in order for play to earn to even be feasible.
Okay, I get you. No, absolutely right. So are we just lying to ourselves as an ecosystem? I've heard some of the team that say, hey, pay to play. That's not what we're about. But it almost sounds counterintuitive. I don't know how you're not pay to play if you're a Web3 game. Can you separate one from the other in GameFi? Is that possible, Raph? I'll look at you. I'm looking at you sort of as a game developer at this point in time. How do you separate one from another? Is it possible?
You don't. I like the summarized version that Sticks Intern described. It's a lot more succinct than I could. Usually I'll ramble on for on and on and on and on and on. Totally agree with that sentiment. I really believe that is the glory of Web3, is that you get to sell your items, you get to sell your heroes, you get to grind hard, you get to sell it to someone else, and therefore someone else can pay to win. And that creates a balanced ecosystem in this. That's what I think. That's what we're all here for. I think that's what we're all about. It'll create a strong economy. They need a balanced game in order for that to not be broken. But I think actually, creating a balanced game in some ways is easier. That's been, game developers have created balanced games, or have tried to create balanced games for the last 20, 40 years. And so I feel like this is a new era where you can actually sell your items, sell your heroes, sell your NFTs, sell the things that you own on the free open market. Like that is incredible. And that allows you to get paid to, you know, earn on the things that you hope do well in the game. So it's a beautiful ecosystem that I'm striving for, and I'm excited for it.
Before, Ogre, thank you
If
very
I
much
could,
for your time. I see you got a bounce, so thank you. Any last words maybe you want to chime in with?
yeah, no, sorry about disconnecting. She
Oh,
was
you're
calling
good.
in. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Great time. Look forward to the
Peace.
next one.
Have a
Thanks,
nice one,
everybody.
Ogre. Thank you.
Love
Um,
you, Ogre.
Raph sticks in turn. I completely agree with you, Kupo. I remember. I mean, you and I were sort of, things have changed, right? The game's made it more feasible for anyone to sort of accumulate if they wanted to. But you were always sort of a small fish. We were small fish in a big pond. Hearing the likes of, hey, you know what? Pay to play is not just something that's unavoidable. It's something we're all counting on as for lack of a better word, investors in the game. Your take on that. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I think we both came into the game around the same time. I think you came in like early 2021, such as I did. So we got in during like the height of the whole DeFi Kingdoms like situation where we're paying like $20 and so for Jewel and stuff like that to kind of see it depreciate to like 9, 10, 11, 12 cents. It's slightly disheartening, but at the same time, this is kind of what we were like wishing for. Like, man, I wish we were able to get the opportunity to jump into the game when it was that low. We have that chance. This is our second life, as you guys are saying it, with the heroes. So we have the opportunity to hit that bull run to actually make something for ourselves. So for us that we're like committed and that we're still in it to win it, we're working ourselves up. We're fine tuning ourselves. We're getting those heroes that we only fathomed that whales were only able to have in the past. And we're trying to get ourselves to carry up with that next wave. And we want to reach up to the stars. We want to go to the moon. We want us to all work together so we can reach there. As a community, we've bonded. I mean, it's great to see so many people that we've been with for days, weeks, months, and years, if I can actually say that now, that we really have grown to appreciate. So we kind of all want to win together. So yeah, I'm on board with this whole situation, and I would love to see us all win in our own unique ways. Whether we go the PVE, PvP, crafting route, if we're looking to just be like the investor style, whatever. That's the glory of DFK. We all play our own way, and whatever way, I just want us to all win together.
Kupo is the voice of the people. If you didn't know, Kupo for president. There's a
Preach.
there's a pic I created for him, a meme. Starbuck, honest, too honest, trade room. I'll let either of you unmute on this topic. I mean, at this point, I can't help but imagine, we're all banking on this to be an actual pay to play type of situation. Does that make you sick in your stomach maybe as a gamer? I mean, because I remember being on the other side of things. Hey, I hate these pay to play games. I hate Call of Duty because I have to pay to play and be successful. Some of these maybe handheld or cell phone games, right? These apps. Pay to play thoughts.
I have some thoughts on that. I was thinking, like, as a gamer and being around gamers my entire life and being with gamers, I'm trying to wrap my head around how is the everyday gamer that plays Tekken, gonna enter into a space to actually pay massive money to play a game. So I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, so we're gonna have to have a low entry into these games for other people, regular everyday people, to come in and play, or are we gonna just let these games be strictly for a smaller base community of pay to play people? Because think about it, can the everyday person afford to play games and pay? I don't know, man.
Yes.
When I was growing up, I was struggling to even friggin' have a good damn meal. Am I gonna be able to play a game, pay to play a game? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I know it seems easy for all of us to say, oh, anybody can make money, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
So I can chime in. with that. So, first of all, nothing in this
Curious.
world is free,
Yes, nothing at all.
including energy, right?
Yes.
And when you talk about in the crypto world, some of the blockchains that do the best are the ones that their primary blockchain tokens are gas tokens. You burn intentionally, along with however X amount of million people are okay with burning intentionally to get to a place where there's scarcity, right? And so we're all down to create energy and literally burn and build out. And so, when you're in that realm, then yes, you completely understand pay to play, and the low barrier to entry is important. But also too, I mean, whether you're in a third world country or you're in a first world country, we burn money doing ridiculous things, right? When it comes to food you eat, you burn it. Yes, you get something out of it, but the end that comes out is shit, right? And so we're all here burning and creating energy, and at the end of the day, that amounts to something, including the energy it takes to build out your heroes, which provides them with intrinsic value 2, 3, 4 years later. There's nothing you can do about that. It takes time. You can stand pot all you want. Still going to take you a year to get to level whatever, right? So there's intrinsic energy in that, and you have to be okay with coming in and burning to a certain degree to get to an end goal.
No, I absolutely, Starbuck. I'll let you have finishing thoughts on this conversation. Pay to play.
I mean, a part of me wants it to be hard to get in. If it's not hard to get in, then our tokens probably aren't worth so much. And we're developing our wallets right now because of the reason that it might be more difficult. The barrier to entry might be a little bit larger in the future. And we've all seen the token rise and obviously fall. But imagine the token just to play was at $22 and people wanted to play so bad that they were willing maybe to eat a little lean for a month, to have a hero. And, you hear about all these people in third world countries where they get into games that are expensive, like DefiKingdoms. They quit their job and their whole entire job is playing this game. If it could be like that, imagine what it's going to be like with just 50 heroes in your wallet. Maybe it could be a life changer for some of the people that got in at the right time. It's not the people that buy Bitcoin when it's at the top of the tech, that are the heaviest now. It's the people that bought in early on, watched it rise, and had to you kind of had to have those scrapes on your knees in order to get to where you were. And if it is difficult for people, I'm kind of for that. That's why we're here now. And I've said it before, the juice is going to be worth the squeeze. We've all got faith in this project. It's going to be a long time until we see it come to fruition. There's a lot of things going on in the economy right now that are beyond our control. We've got rates at record highs over 2 decades. The last time that rates were as high as they are right now, the Fed rate was February 1st of 2001, which is a long time ago. Some of the people that are in this game right now probably weren't even alive at that point. And we're expecting another raise at the end of this month. So to say that, of course, I want to have people to have an opportunity to get in, but that's why I'm saying get in while you can afford it, because someday you might not. I don't think I'll be burning the things that I've been burning when the token is skyrocketing. Something would have had to have positioned me in a way where I feel okay burning a Dread Knight. If you told me 2 years ago that, hey, Jay, you're going to be burning a Dread Knight, I'd be like, the hell I am. Common or not, no stone or not, I wasn't going to be burning it. Now it's like it's got a second life, but it could have 2 second lives.
Absolutely. Spoken like an eloquent banker, my friend. I love it. Trade room. I saw the fire burning under your feet. You have something to say?
Yeah, no, for sure. I was going to add to that. Just two or three primary examples, right? So one, NFL fantasy football. A group of players sent accumulation sent an accumulation of 2,000 Joule to an escrow account participating in America's favorite sport, right? That's an ecosystem that's participating in another ecosystem. The $13 holler, right? 4 players of DefiKingdoms that decided to get into a contestant with private duels with each other to do what? To take the other three's heroes, right? So when you have just not the ecosystem, and you have just the way it's branching out, the network effects, the more time, the better. Even with the interest rates and with everything else that's going on, I think that the whole decentralization conversation and everything else you can ask of a crypto ecosystem is here. And the beauty is we're allowed to tinker and tanker with it. I think a lot of us don't understand that the team is not saying, here, walk in this path. It's giving you things to tinker and tanker with. And we could all private duels with each other in the off season of duels if you want to, right? So it's just that's a little bit that I'll add there is the vast array of other ecosystems that this ecosystem participates in.
Oh boy, that's a great segue to my next comment, closing remarks here. It may be that we get to a point where the game does not live within DFK. The game we may all be interested in at some point in time lives with a third party. Speaking of third party games, Raph, remind me, you said something Wednesday. What's happening Wednesday? What's going on?
Thank you for giving us a chance to shout it out again. Wednesday we'll be dropping the ADFK game. You can go earn raffle tickets. You'll be going to the ADFK website. Hopefully everyone who's listening to the stream is familiar with that. Free options to see this. We are going to allow all new accounts. We're going to be airdropping credits to all new accounts to allow them to play the game for free during our first few weeks of entering into this new foray of gaming. And then you can wager for Crystal. And we're creating very competitive rates, and that's allowed. We're allowed to do that based on the amazing generosity of the DFK team. And so if you win duels at a 50% rate, you can earn the same amount of raffle tickets inside the ADFK ecosystem by going through our dungeon mechanics, and there's no wager limit right now. And so if we are timing this with the end of season 4 of duels, and so if you want to go earn some raffle tickets, we are here. We are your one-stop shop to go earn some raffle tickets at the ADFK game. So you you register your wallet on our web-based game. You can use any one of your heroes that is in your in-game wallet, and then you transfer Crystal in order to wager in the raffle system. And then you play and you win. So we're really hoping this is a fun PvE game for all of our amazing community members out there that love DefiKingdoms.
I love it, and to that I'll add two things. One, I am absolutely getting nothing from anyone on the stream. This is all sort of pro bono on my end. I will add that one piece I missed from losing Fight Club is those off-season ticket abilities. Those made the difference for me. Night and day. If you've ever entered raffles during the middle of just duels, when the duel season's going on, the rewards you get, for me at least, I can speak to myself, and I'm sure you all can speak to this as well. The rewards you end up getting, probably in comparison to when you're entering those raffles off season. If you're needing raffle tickets, where else can you get them? But with does it have a name? I was going to call it ADFK's game, but does it have an official name?
Adventures Arcade.
Adventures Arcade. Well, with that said,
Mythic Arcade still safe.
Wait. Before you sign off, Sarge, I just want to add to Raph Shill that there will be no office hours next Wednesday because I will be joining the ADFK guys on their stream to when the game launches. So yeah, just wanted to clear that up. No office hours. I'm gonna miss a week. It's gonna be very fun.
Love you, man.
Yeah, I love it. Wow, 30 viewers. I think that might be the highest we've had in a minute. I want to thank my mom and my dad for joining the stream. I don't know. No, but what I will say, I guess if we're shielding stuff, I guess I should shield myself. KP and I and Six Intern, we're planning a SoCal meetup at some point. Another one. We're doing these biannual now. More information to come. I think we can save the dates in November. I just want to confirm some stuff on the back end before I give out a date. surrounding locations. Just in November, we're planning something. So with that said, thank you all very much. We will stay in touch. To another episode of Candergan. Thank you very much for joining us today. And as always, stay bullish. Let me find it. I've got it right here. Bullish. Catch y'all later.
Peace.